It's been 2 months of arguments, sometimes fierce, other times funny. The Supreme Court, after 2 months of legal argument, will give the judgment in less than 24 hours. At a press conference today, Supreme Court Judge JoyNews teamed up with the Ghana Journalists Association to address reportage of the judgment ahead of tomorrow. This comes barely 24 hours after the GJA demanded the retraction of a directive by lawyer for the justices of the Apex Court, which demanded removal of some stories from news online portals, cautioning all media houses in the country to desist from publishing hateful, indecent and offensive statements against judges. The GJA described it at the time as an attempt to dictate to the media. Well, today's news conference was organized by the GJA and the Judicial Service. Judge JoyNews expressed the judges' uneasiness about what he says are attacks in a section of the media on some of their rulings. Justice Kolende wants the public to be circumspect in their comment as well about the judiciary.
Willing, tomorrow, the court will speak. When judges speak, that's the end of our role. It's not our place to get into studios, into debates, into commentaries, and to explain. That responsibility falls to you as the anchors who take information out. So if you inform, you can also misinform. It's the responsibility of those of you as the media who educate. If you educate, you can miseducate. And that is why, you know, if country will do well, if we will go forward, if our cohesion will be maintained, a lot depends on you and the professional circumspection, introspection and reflection and care that you bring to bear on your role as the anchor that takes the information out. I couldn't say it better than George did. You will have to take this phase of the responsibility very seriously. It's as important as the role you have performed in transmitting the proceedings worldwide, because at the end of the day, the Ghanaian people own the process. And it's important that they understand what went on, and that when the judges speak, irrespective of our preferences, our likes and dislikes, by the rules of engagement, the referee blows the whistle and the lots fall where they fall. And so let's be constructive, let's be proactive. And His Lordship has said, I should tell you that as trustees of the People's Power of Justice, we are willing and happy to be criticized. Criticize us as violently as you can, but for Christ's sake, don't insult us.
And that's Judge JoyNews there. President of the Ghana Bar Association, Tony Forson, says lawyers will be on standby to offer legal education on matters likely to come out of the judgment tomorrow.
On behalf of all the lawyers, to render an unqualified apology, if there be one needed, to all the authorities involved in the discipline of lawyers. Indeed, after the elections and throughout the petition, tempers were very high. And as much as I believe that every lawyer is endued with the ethics of the profession, sometimes some considerations would make you slip here and there. As human beings, even in court sometimes, we even forget some of the issues and we ask for amendments. So I pray that whoever may have said something untoward towards any person as a lawyer, I render an unqualified apology. Going forward, I will ask that all lawyers, after hearing the judgment tomorrow, will lend their intellectual power to the media and to the general public and show leadership in explaining what people do not understand. That is what we have been trained to do. Definitely, I will not ask anybody to go one way or the other. Every lawyer is an independent thinking person and has his own considerations. But in as much as possible, let us all be guided by the ethics of the profession, such that at the end of the day, Ghana is the better for it, so that we may not have the opportunity or the infamy of having to explain ourselves to anybody for things that we have said or failed to say.
president of the Ghana Bar Association. Let's hear from the Ghana Journalists Association. As I indicated earlier, barely 24 hours ago, they had concerns about that directive issued by lawyer for the justices of the Supreme Court. Well, today, like I said, the press conference was organized by both sides. Let's hear from the GJA now.
We know that the ownership structure of the Ghanaian media prevents some of you from being as professional as you ought to be or what you want to be. So there's nothing we can do given the pluralistic nature of the media. All sides of issues are peddled. But for the sake of heaven, for the sake of national unity and cohesion and stability, our appeal to the media community in general, please inject the highest degree of circumspection in tomorrow's judgment, so that at the end of it all, Ghana will continue to be at peace with itself and at peace with the rest of the world. On this note, once again, I thank you for what you have done, and may the God of heaven bless you all.
You've had the GJA, you've had a justice of the Supreme Court, and you've also had the Ghana Bar Association. Let's head on the phone lines now and talk to Bobby Banson. He is a private legal practitioner. Bobby, thank you for your time and good afternoon. I'm wondering what you make of all that is happening within, let's say, less than 2 days ahead of the election petition hearing judgment tomorrow. What do you make of everything that's happened so far?
I believe that it's been a pure manifestation of legal weight and grit and making sure that everybody protects the interest of his client in respect of the petition proper. With respect to the media reportage and all that have come with it, I believe that this, as a democracy, is an experience that we will cherish. We are growing. This is the second petition we have had concerning our presidential elections, and it's a step in growth, and we are all seeing that we are maturing as a country, beginning to appreciate some of these processes and procedures. And I believe that at the end of the day, we would have something that we will learn from. But whether you win or you lose, you'll have learned something from the whole process.
I mean, for the first time, if you like, we're hearing a Supreme Court judge organize a press conference together with the Ghana Bar Association and the Ghana Journalists Association as well. Does that strike you as something is really wrong here, or is it a normal preconditioning of public psyche ahead of tomorrow?
You know, I want to congratulate the leadership of the judiciary for taking this step. You know, I believe that the judiciary wanted to give this image to the public that, listen, we are one of you, we appreciate the emotions that have gone into this, the emotions that would arise as a result of our decision, whether it goes to the left or the right or the center. And so we want to come down to this level. Remember, the Ghana Bar Association is made up of lawyers as well, who represented either the petitioner or any of the respondents. And so for a member of the Supreme Court, that is a judge, to organize this press conference together with the Ghana Bar Association and what you have it goes to show that they want to demystify the idea that the judiciary are made up of persons that are not part of the society. They don't understand what is going on, and they only sit there and then apply the law as they see it without thinking of the impact it will have on the society. So I believe that it's a step in the right direction. Just as I believe the military sometimes have open days where they allow civilians to come in and then just experience how the military works, just to demystify that arm of government. So I believe that it's a step in the right direction.
Did they achieve the targets? I'm talking about starting from the letter or the statement that was issued by the judges for the lawyer for the justices, Tadio.
That letter was not issued for the justices. The letter was issued for the judicial service. The judicial service is an artificial entity which can sue and be sued. It is separate from the judges. The judges are members of the judicial service, just as the judicial service staff. And so that letter was issued by on behalf of the judicial service not on behalf of the judges. Hello?
Me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I do hear you. I do hear you now.
Right.
So I'm going back to it. You indicated the fact that you're very excited. I mean, this sounds like good news, but it's a way of getting the public to understand that the judges are also human beings, etc. But the question was whether or not, well, let's go to the judiciary, the judicial service. They sent this statement. Did it do justice to what they wanted to achieve initially, or do you think that it's actually rather agitated the public, because then there were a lot of opposition to that particular statement?
I have my own misgivings about that statement. Not take away from the fact that the essence of that statement was to remind all of us that you can criticize the judiciary, but you must do so within the ambit of the law. So you cannot scandalize the court in the name of criticizing the judiciary. That is the essence of the statement. And to that extent, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think that most of the opposition to that statement has been the manner in which it was couched and where it emanated from. So, for instance, I think that if the statement had been signed by the Judicial Secretary, it may have been met with less resistance. If the statement had used less words that did not sound very directive to the media houses, for example, saying that pull down hate statements, I think that it would also have been met with less resistance or opposition. So, in as much as there are some aspects of the statement issued on behalf of the Judicial Service and the manner in which some of the words were couched have met a lot of resistance, I think that we should not look away from the essence of that statement, which is reminding all of us the duty, the responsibility that we have, which comes from the right that we have to criticize the judges for their decision. We also have a responsibility to make sure that we not cross the boundary and enter into the realms of contempt. So I think that we can look at that statement with eyes of opposition.
Do you have any expectations to share with us ahead of tomorrow? What are your own expectations?
Well, I expect it to be a long judgment. I expect that it to be a very reasoned judgment, as the Supreme Court is used to delivering, so that for every issue that the resolution would be on, we would have reasoned judgment made up of the facts, the law, the application, and the conclusion. And I suspect that we may have a case where almost every judge that sat on the panel would write his or her own decision.
Well, Bobby, I'll say a very big thanks to you. We'll look ahead to tomorrow. The Ghana Bar Association has indicated that there are lawyers who will be on standby to help the media, explain things to us. I believe you're one of them.
Well, I'll be available to assist.
Bobby, thank you. Bobby Banson is a lawyer. They're helping us with his perspective on what is happening so far. Tomorrow is the judgment day, and we'll be here to bring you live here on the JoyNews channel.